Welcome to this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live, the show which ensures that you profit from your time spent here with experts, either through their industry insights, information, or simply learning from them. And today we have Sebastian Carlos Kruse. He is a coach, holistic health coach, chief executive officer at Dance Specific Training Academy. Welcome to the show, Sebastian.
Thank you, AJ. It's absolutely a pleasure to be here and sharing this moment together with you. Hope everything's going fantastic.
You are welcome to the show. You are welcome to India in this online form.
Appreciate
and I'm sure not just in India, but a lot of people will benefit from what we'll be talking about. We'll be talking about holistic health, entrepreneurship, and figuring out life itself. So first to understand from you, Coach Sebastian, is that who is Sebastian? You have traversed such a long path in your life.
Yes,
in the short
definitely.
of life itself. So I would like to understand through you, because I don't want to dilute that story. So tell us about who you are, what your life has been, so that the audience understand what is the expertise that you bring to them.
Absolutely. So for some context, I'm Sebastian Carlos Kruse, or Coach Sebastian. I believe in this setting. I'm Swedish/Cape Verdean. I'm from the Cape Verde Island. Cape Verde Island is a small nation in the western of Africa. We're a small nation with big dreams. I was born and raised in Sweden, lived there until I was 19, and for the last 13 years, I've traveled the world as a professional dancer, as a professional coach, as a personal trainer. I'm currently based in the Cape Verde Island, where I've been living for the last approximately 2 years, focusing specifically on training high performers and high achieving individuals to get mentally and physically stronger. So that's briefly of what I do. So my story is a story of traveling tons of setbacks and learning how to turn these setbacks into what is now my life, right? So turning obstacles into opportunities is how I like to say it. So yeah, that's pretty briefly who I am.
Absolutely. You train a lot of people. So I want to understand, all these high performers who come to you, what is it that they come to? They themselves are high performers. What is it that you give them extra that can make them super high performers?
Yeah, so for some context, I've been training, like I said, I'm a personal trainer, celebrity trainer. I've been training Grammy Award-winning artists and singer-songwriters such as Muhumbi. I've trained Madonna. I was recently in New York where I trained Madonna. And what a lot of people, and then I trained multiple world championship dancers, basketball players, fighters, etc. And what they come to me is mostly for the mental aspect, but also for the functional training aspect. So I got a fitness degree from the Norwegian School of Sports Science, where I focused specifically on sport-specific training, right? So a functional way of using your body. But where I believe I draw the line in the sand compared to the majority of trainers that is out there is my expertise in mental discipline and understanding how to control this to take that to the next level. And on top of all of this, I consider myself as a human guinea pig. I tried multiple, the majority of the diets that are out there. I tried them. I done my blood work while I tested them. So I'm really a nerd within high performance and productivity. That's where I'm fascinating, because I believe everybody can. It's easy in a sense to learn a beginner to go from beginning to okay. So lose a couple of kilos, or get a little bit mentally stronger. That's basics when it comes to training. And I've been doing this for close to, it's over a decade now. But where if you want to take somebody that is great and turn that person into an elite performer, or turn an already elite performing individual to get that extra edge, that's what's fascinating to me.
Absolutely. I will come to the Madonna part a bit later on. I would have asked that question for sure. But I want to understand from you is that on a mental and physical health coach, a high performance coach,
yes,
you yourself have traversed a long path and you have faced a lot of difficulties in your whole journey in terms of having panic attacks, anxiety, facing discrimination. That needs a lot of mental strength, a lot of resilience. I want to
Yeah.
understand, how can one build such those things? Is it that life will teach you so you will learn? What is it that you had in you that you could face all those issues and come out strong, whereas a lot of people struggle with that, and a lot of, even high performers will struggle with that. I want to understand that mindset. How can I get that sort of a mindset? How can I
Yeah.
deal with this situation if I'm in presently?
Yeah, so for some context, like I said, I was raised in Sweden with a Cape Verdean father, or with an African father. And as a result of that, I was, how do you say that in English even? I was exposed to a lot of racism, not only racism, Nazism. So where I was raised, there was a huge community of Nazis came to my school. They was looking for me, they chased me, etc., etc. So I started doing martial arts at a really young age. Did that, managed to go through all of those situations because I had good mentors, I had good role models I was able to navigate and share with. Became a professional dancer around 19 years old, started traveling, and then at the age of 33, 34, I completely ran into a wall. And this is when I'm doing world tour, I'm dancing behind artists, I'm running my own companies. I'm living a social media perfection life already. And I run into a wall and I start to get daily panic anxiety attacks. I could have up to 6 panic anxiety attacks per day. And if you never had one, I'm glad for you. But if you have had one, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You're exploding on the inside. And I started contemplating suicide for a long time during that time. And then ultimately I came out of that, started studying, and went through this journey that was part of my journey, right? And as a result of all of this, to circle back to your question, it's like, how does one come out of the other end? Like, I believe you don't need to, because I wouldn't wish panic anxiety attacks or anxiety on my worst enemy. So you don't need to go through all of that to go out mentally stronger. But what you need to do is that you need to micro challenge yourself, daily challenges, whether that is to go on fasts. I'm personally doing intermittent fasting. I'm doing 24-hour fast once a week. I'm going on hikes, tough hikes, 10, 15-hour long hikes to challenge myself mentally. And even just like, you make your bed in the morning, even if you don't feel like doing it. You hit the gym, you train, you're actively engaging in something. So you're constantly testing yourself to make sure to show to yourself that you're stronger than what you may perceive as, right? So you're constantly hiring your baseline and getting outside of your comfort zone, which is why now I'm on this podcast tour, right? Like I really enjoy public speaking, but I've been on stage, and I've been on stage for thousands of stages across the world, but not only with my voice. I've been dancing. So doing this podcast tour that I'm now on, it challenged me again to be able to get out of my comfort zone and share my story and talk about mental health, because it's such an important topic in today's day and age. So my answer to your question, to circle it back to this drawn out answer, is to make sure to test yourself, micro test yourself constantly, and journal. You have to journal so you have a stack of undeniable proof that you are who you say you are. Because it's very easy to forget who you are in times of hardship. It's like, I'm not sure if I'm mentally strong. I'm not sure if I'm capable of this. But if you have a journal, almost like a highlight reel of your life, it's very easy for you to look back at it. It is like, so if I was able to go through all of these things, then I'm certainly able to go through all of these things that I'm now faced with. Did that make sense?
Yes, yes, indeed. So I want to understand from you, now that you are in that position, you can teach people.
Yeah.
How do you deal with these things and also plan your life? Like, obviously, you did not get a chance to plan your life. It just happened, if I understand.
Yeah.
How does one plan one plan their life when all these things are happening in your life, either in terms of mental stress, physical
Yeah.
stress, whatever life throws at you? I want to understand, what would you like
Yeah.
to tell them looking back at the life you lived?
That's an amazing question. One of the main things that I can't keep coming back to is that, and I wish I understood this earlier in real life, is that clarity creates calmness. So you need clarity, not only clarity of like, where are you going, but you need clarity of what are all the things that are happening in your life. Because a lot of us are not used to deal with our own thoughts. So when world is throwing a lot of things at us, it's very easy to get overwhelmed. And because you haven't developed a structure to control your thoughts and to be able to process your thoughts, you need clarity, because if not, you're just spinning around in circles. So the first thing I always tell my students is to think on paper. You want to put everything down on paper, draw stick figures, do a mind map. Even if you not think yourself as an artistic person, put it down on paper for you to be able to get a different perspective, so you can objectively look at it, and then you can start to work it out from there. And then if you are like, I don't know, because a lot of people get overwhelmed by the fact that they don't know what they want out of life or what they don't want to do. Get clarity. Think about it, talk about it, write it down. Say, I want to make, I want to live on a remote island in Africa and have a 6-figure business. Amazing. If that's what you want to do, put it down on a piece of paper and then start talking about it. Share it with people in your circle. If you don't have a good circle there with people that actually support you, join online communities. There are a huge amount of them. Talk to people. And then it's almost like you throw it at a wall and then you say it out loud and you see if it sticks. It's like, do I really want that? So you put it on a wall, but clarity creates calmness. So that would probably be the first thing. And then my second thing that I want to add, the second like gem I would love to give, is that to make sure to only focus on the things that are inside of your control. I can't control if the internet is good where I am right now. So that shouldn't be my focus. My focus when I'm coming to these podcasts is I will make sure to engage as much as I can and give them the most amount of value in the shortest amount of time. So focus on the things that are in your control. I can't really control what the receptionist at my office think about me. But what I can do is that I can make sure that I'm coming in, showing up as a friendly person, and I'm polite. But if she don't like me, that is what it is, because that's out of my control. So now I have clarity because I have everything on paper, so I can focus, I can see it objectively, and then I can just think, okay, is this in my control? This is not in my control. Is this in my control? Yeah, this part is in my control. Perfect. Then I should focus on that. These are the two things that are not in my control, so I should just leave it. Did that make sense?
Absolutely, absolutely. It's a good point about clarity. And, subsequent to that, I want to understand from you, especially for the younger generation, is that, there is a lot of unsaid pressure from the social media itself.
Yes,
And
certainly.
Nobody else is telling you. You are creating it by seeing it yourself.
Exactly.
Earlier, it used to be peer pressure, but now it's a different sort of a pressure altogether, including the peer pressure, if at all it is. Second thing is, that talking of clarity, you said that you cannot control what others think of you. You talked about if somebody likes you or not likes you. But in social media, a lot of people are creators. A lot of people want to earn their livelihood from social media. Even you have a social media existence in one form or the other, because it works for your business. There, the likes and dislikes matter. A lot of people seem to take those things very personally. How should they deal with social media in terms of your clarity, as well as social media in terms of, when you are promoting your business? How do you deal with that fact of life?
When it comes to social media, it's very important to distinguish yourself from who I am as a person and then who I am as a creator. I don't put the most amount of value, or I don't actually put any amount of value in my personal value versus my performance as a creator. That's completely over there. That's my business. I'm me, regardless of if I get 15 likes or 2 likes or 1 million likes on my next up and coming video. That doesn't matter over my self-image of what I think about myself. So that again, because it's not in my control. Focus on, what do you like? I really like, personally, I like long form content. I like to talk, to have almost like a philosophical train of thoughts, a meeting of my own mind for about 30 to 45 minutes. That's what I like to do. I really enjoy that process. And I'm going to do that to my absolute best of my abilities and put it out there. And if people respond to it, that's amazing. If people like it. If they don't like it, I can't control that. So then I'm still asking for feedback. Okay, but what did you not like? What did you like? Oh, we didn't like the setting. I didn't like the color in the background. Okay, these are things I can't control, but I can't control if my videos are going viral or not. So again, the basic foundation of focus on what's inside of your control. Now, what does that mean for you? Because again, clarity, you want to define it. Oh, I want to become a creator. Awesome, create. Then by definition, you're a creator. No, but I want to become a successful creator. Okay, what does that mean? Does that mean that you can make a livelihood out of it? Yeah, okay. I run a 6-figure business. I've never had a post run a gazillion views. I never had that. But I have a business that is connected to my social media, that was directly influenced by my social media. So does that make me a successful influencer? Yeah, I guess it does. Okay, amazing. Now I want to make sure that my measurement of success is regarded or is inside of things that are inside of my control. Because if you start valuing, I believe that putting your self-worth inside of the likes of other people or the likes of buttons or in algorithm, it's moral suicide. Sooner than later, you're playing a game that will end up, you can't win that game. It's impossible to win that game, especially considering now how all the algorithms and everything works, and there's this shadow banning thing. Some people run ads, and
Right.
That's not reality. And I can tell you that's not reality because the people that I've coached have millions of followers. And these are some of the most depressed people I ever met. I would never want their life. Like some of the people I coach have terrible lives. But on their social media, it seems that it's absolutely amazing. But I know, so there's a backstory to everything. So and never forget this one thing. All the personal problems that you're dealing with right now, all the depression, all the insecurities, all the things that is bothering your mind, every person are going through the same. Because as it is above, so it is below. As it is for you, so it is for me. As it is for him, so it is for her. So all of these things are universal things that we're all struggling with. Don't get tricked by social media.
Absolutely, absolutely. And talking about your clients, those people who you coach, I want to understand through that what exactly are the challenges such successful people are facing. What is it that they want you to solve for them?
So a lot of people it depends, right? It depends if it's a professional athlete, if it's a dancer. It could be anything from I have weak hips, and I will need to get stronger hips, or I have a weak neck and I want to get a stronger neck, or I just really want to lose some weight, or I am a 9-figure net worth entrepreneur that is super disciplined in my work, super disciplined of how I run my life, just except I don't take care of my health. So then some people need accountability, some people need to make their body go better, their joints stronger, and some people actually need to have somebody to sit down with and challenge them directly. Because a lot of these high-performing individuals, they have a lot of yes men and yes women in their life. Constantly yes, yes, you're amazing, yes, you're this, yes, you're that. But they need to get challenged in, can you do better? Of course you can. How? This is how you get better. This is how we get you from point A to point B, or from X to Y, right? And all of these things are personalized. I sit down with them, we have deep conversation and honest conversation, and we challenge each other. Because a lot of these individuals are high performing, running empires, again, multiple 9 figures, or some of the best in the world at what they're doing. So it's not that I sit down and I tell them exactly this is your reality. No, it becomes a conversation, and I'm challenging them, and they're challenging me, and so we have a profound conversation and moving in that direction, right? So I usually steer the direction. So that's some of it. But again, some people really just need to get kicked in the ass, you know what I mean, and just need some tough love, and I'm that coach.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Because a lot of people, sorry for interrupting, but a lot of people are scared about the truth. I'm not scared about the truth. And when you've been doing this for such a long time that I've been doing, and we have metrics, I know how to measure your your fat percentage. I know how to measure your mental capabilities. I know your clarity. I know how to measure your happiness. So, but these are your numbers. Are you excited about those? No, you're not. Okay, but do you think that 40 out of 100 or 4 out of 10 is good when it comes to your happiness level? You wake up and you're telling me you're 4 out of 10. I mean, any test in the world, if you get 4 out of 10, you fail that test. So what are we going to do about that?
Right, Sebastian. You coached a lot of very famous people, including you have been a celebrity coach for icons like Madonna, as you said, and also Mohambi. So I want to understand, especially, that is it that they only learn from you, or you also get to learn from people like Madonna?
Certainly, yeah, certainly. So that's what I said, right? Because a lot of people believe that as a coach or a celebrity coach, you sit down, you look at the person, it's like, I'm gonna fix you. It's like, no, I learned so much from these high-performing individuals. These are, if you take at Mohumbi, for example, he's a Grammy award-winning singer-songwriter. Like he's been doing this he's been singing since he was a child, and you learn so much of people that have perfected their craft. So it's an honor and a blessing to be able to be in the studio with these types of individuals, to sit down and have conversation with them and challenge them and hear how their brain is talking to themselves, because I'm encouraging them to think out loud, right? So you learn so much just to be around them, and that's one of the reasons why I absolutely love to spend time around these types of individuals. When I sit down and I talk to individuals that made 9-figure, like that is I have a client that is $750 million net worth. $1 billion. So it's like you learn so much from that type of individual, because that person has seen the depths that comes with capitalism. And like, that's truth. So he's seen the depth, and he understands money and resources and finance at a level that very, 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 very few people understand it. But I understand how the mind works in the way that very, very, very few people understand it. So I don't see myself as lower. I don't see him as higher. But let's meet, and we're going to have a great conversation, and we're going to learn a lot from each other.
Absolutely, absolutely. I want to understand. You are the CEO at Dance Pacific Training
Yes.
Limited. I want to understand the role of dance in your life. Now, is life making you dance, or you are making life dance around you?
That's a great question. I've danced through life, literally. So dance is a huge part in my life. I'm constantly dancing. As soon as I'm listening to music, there is some type of movement. Even see myself in the screen here, like I'm constantly moving. My training, my physical training, is very dance inspired. I'm creative. I am a creator to the fingertips. I'm an artist. So dance will always be a huge influential part of my life. And I say that one of my life goals, if not my only life goal, one could argue, is that I want to dance until the day before I die. So I have a vision in my mind that I see that I'm dancing with my future woman. We're at the beach. Everybody, my friends are there, family's there, grandchildren, great-grandchildren. And that's the day before I die. So how do I get there? How do I get there? This is the importance dance has in my life. So how do I get there? Well, I need to stretch every day. I need to take care of my health. I need to train every day. I need to take care of my joints. I need to stay flexible. I need to take care of my cardiovascular system. So all of these things are around this one goal of me dancing the day before I die. So dancing is a huge part of me. And it's really one of those things. Now when I'm living on the islands, I miss the big stages. I can miss that. So I'm going back to Europe now in January to a congress called the Bachata Essential World Congress, which I'm really excited about, and just to be able to be on big stages and and express myself. So dancing is everything from therapy to training to how I communicate, how I deal with things. So it has a huge part of my life.
Right. The big stage, the bigger life awaits you. I want to understand now, looking back at your life, how do you look at it now? Are you in a safe zone, comfortable zone, where the old problems are not there? Now you can look at it in a fresh perspective, take on the world.
Yeah, most certainly. I can definitely see that some of the old problems are not there anymore. I don't wake up in the middle of the night with panic anxiety and considering how I could kill myself in the fastest way possible. So that is something I'm very grateful for. But as life continues, you get new challenges, and I'm actively seeking out new challenges. I believe a man's life is more rich when it has challenges. I'm constantly want to challenge myself, because if I don't do that, how could I sit down with these high-performing individuals that I'm coaching and even measure myself in any way, shape, or form with them if I'm not constantly challenging myself, right? Whatever that case may be. So I can see my life as it has been an incredible journey so far, but I just feel that I'm getting started. I'm going to bed excited because I just want to wake up and go to work tomorrow, which is something I'm very grateful for, considering that I read somewhere that 2/3 or 1/3 of every American hate their jobs or is super dissatisfied with what they're doing. So to be able to do that, and because I'm doing this journey together with my best friend. So I'm running my company together with my best friend. We've been best friends for 20 years, and we've been running our company together for it's close to a decade now. So this blessing that I have, I just want to milk that out of life to the absolute fullest of my abilities. And again, I just feel I'm getting started. There's so much more things into life. I just had my first TEDx talk. I just trained Madonna. All of these things are happening as I'm developing. So I'm super excited about it. And this is, I don't know what to say. I just talking about life, I just get excited about it.
Absolutely. It's a wonderful life. Life is wonderful.
Most certainly.
Life is what we make of it. And you have certainly made a lot of it. And that is what a lot of people. So this is just one podcast episode. A lot of people would want to, connect with you, to learn from you, to be coached by you, to dance with you. What is the best way for them to do so?
I am coach.Sebastian on all social media, except Instagram. Then I'm coach.Sebastian.cv. But yeah, all social media platforms, Coach Sebastian should be super easy to find. I'm tall, I'm bald, I'm usually wearing a turban, I'm brown. It's just one of me. It should be easy to find me. You can also, of course, this is even easier way. And if those doesn't work, just go on www.meetcoachsebastian, MEET coachsebastian.com. There should be the number one thing. That should be the easiest way.
Absolutely. With this, it's a wrap on this very special edition of the KAJ Masterclass Live.
Thank you so much for the invitation.
Thank you so much indeed for joining us.